It's been a Strokes-filled 2 weeks for fans of the band, and they signed off in spectacular fashion at the weekend, in a way that no one saw coming, but there were signs. For those that don't know, Coachella is spread over consecutive weekends in California, with the same bands headlining, and this is what frontman Julian Casablancas had to say between songs on weekend 1. In 6 months, I think everyone who's eligible for the military has to register. You guys excited? Well, I hope to lead one of the Coachella units, the sexiest unit in our proud military, I'm sure. He then went on to say that maybe the 61st Coachella Infantry was not ready yet, and that maybe the next weekend's crowd might be. Now, that may be a coincidence, but it does lead quite well into what was to come. It's worth saying at this point that I would show footage of what happened, but Coachella are rather keen on the copyright, so wouldn't really get anywhere with that one unfortunately. But let's see how NME covered it. The Strokes closed out their Coachella Weekend 2 set with a politically charged montage, calling out the CIA and the United States government. Watch below. So yeah, I'll put a link in the description to this article, and it's got a link to Jack White's video on Instagram that he posted of the performance. Cool to see him posting it as well. Obviously part of the Strokes cohort, if you like, from back in the day. And someone that's very politically active himself in terms of what he posts on Instagram, etc. There seems to be a bit of an idea going around already that there's maybe some kind of censorship in place on this performance. But I think Coachella in general are a bit hot on any of their footage being used. And that's why any videos on YouTube would get copyrighted almost immediately. But maybe they'll post it themselves. We'll see. Performing on the main stage last night, April 18th, ahead of Justin Bieber's headline slot, the band took the moment to make a statement about the conflicts unfolding across the world. While ending their set with their 2016 track Oblivious, a visual display played on the screen behind them, incorporating imagery of global leaders with text explaining various historical events. The slideshow included images of Omar Torrijos, Jacobo Arbenz, and Jaime Roldos Aguilera, all described by the band as leaders allegedly overthrown by the CIA. An image of Martin Luther King Jr. also appeared, alongside the on-screen statement, US government found guilty of his murder in civil trial. They also showed footage of rubble in Iran alongside the text, over 30 universities destroyed in Iran, and a clip of the last university in Gaza being blown up by an air missile. The screen then faded to black, and the band walked off stage. And again, yeah, you can watch it on Jack White's Instagram, among other places. It followed last week's performance, which also included some political commentary, with frontman Julian Casablancas making a wry dig at Amazon CEO Jeff Bezos by sporting a t-shirt on stage that mimics the Amazon logo, but with the word crime pasted in place of the company's name. He also made reference to the news that the US government plans to automatically register men 18 to 25 as eligible for a military draft, as opposed to the current model of self-registration. Yeah, I mean, it is obviously meaningful that it's happened at Coachella. Kind of the most seemingly superficial of the festivals. Those kind of worlds colliding has given this a bigger impact for sure. Which is obviously probably a deliberate move. Personally, I saw the full performance the next morning without knowing what was going to happen. And it was a real wow moment. A feeling that they were truly going for it kind of thing. I think it's great that they've used the platform to spread a message they're passionate about. And it was very powerful. It's easy for artists to look a bit performative when it comes to politics. But I think they really nailed it here. They weren't trying to lecture people, they just did it in their own way and presented people with the information in a very direct and engaging way. I suppose what NME haven't really covered is the song itself that the Strokes used to get that message across, along with the imagery. A song called Oblivious from 2016 on the Future Present Past EP, which arguably has some of the most political songs the Strokes have ever done. Along with Drag Queen, it's very overtly political, with the chorus stating, "What side are you standing on?" And along with those images at the weekend, it really drove that message home. And credit needs to go to the people behind the scenes, like Johan Rashid, aka Promised Land, who was the brains behind the visuals, along with longtime collaborator of the band Warren Fu, who directed the cameras on the night. He also made the point on Instagram that the actual music video he did with the band for Oblivious was kind of blocked from being released, so it'd be interesting to get more context on that. Maybe it's similar imagery or a similar message to what they were getting across at the weekend. And the visuals in general at Coachella have been amazing to see. Hopefully that carries on with the tour. In recent years, Julian has been on the end of some flack when talking about politics and mixing it with the Strokes. But my feeling is that if you want a meaningful Strokes, then embrace the politics. The Strokes have pretty much been a festival band over the last 20 years, and by Julian's own admission, The Voids became his real passion project. However, on the back of these performances, and with a new album and proper full-length tour on the way, the band look like they're going to make a relevant and meaningful impact once again. And as the flagship band of the noughties guitar scene, it's amazing to see, and kind of fills you with pride as a fan. I'm not saying seeing them play the early songs now hits in the same way it once did, but they're clearly still passionate about what they do. And the political side of that seems vital to Julian's engagement in terms of their output. In terms of the impact this can have, I think it maybe can just inform people, or maybe make people think about things. It definitely brought things to my attention that I wasn't aware of before. And I don't mind saying I wasn't aware of some of the names that were on the screen, but it certainly made me think of them. And I think that's probably the whole objective of what they were trying to do. But what do you think? Were you also blown away by the performance? Or would you rather they left politics out of it? Have your say in the comments.